This might be the greatest place to start my comeback video. Only been 2 weeks though. Uh, what to say? What to say? Doing great. Damn, I had a good little plan, a nice little thought out plan to say when I came back, but uh, I wouldn't say it's a hiatus. I took a little break to mostly just set up a lot of things, mainly for school, work, and figuring it out. Don't really want to do a deep dive into my life because it's not really good to put your whole life on there. But yeah, main focus was to get a good little mental stability because you can start to go through psychosis when you start to think too hard. You start to overthink things, especially when it comes to like preliminary things or religion or how everything's so meaningless. Like I was doing a good amount of research. Excuse me. Okay. I was doing a good amount of research on not human psychology, but more on the basis of how emotions are just a reaction effect to external things or internal things, but mostly external or things in the past. And I wasn't trying to get a full idea of how to fix that, more of how to figure it all out. Cause I was in a breaking point where I was like, fuck, I don't know what to do. I don't do, yeah. I gotta give me just low key. Just gotta give me like a regular job, bro. Low key, I would be fine being a janitor, you know, like get a janitor job or something like that. I was gonna sit down, but I low key wanna walk the full trail. We might stop. There might be a stopping point of where we're gonna sit down and just yap a little bit. Honestly, it might be just right here. This is a different bench. Just enjoying the nature. We gotta get serious though. Real serious talk. As we sit down, do you see the view? How does it look good? I can't even tell. The camera's pretty iffy. Looks good. Hope you're doing well. I don't know who the first person is gonna see this, but hopefully we don't get interrupted by a family relative or anything like that. But we're doing pretty good. Mentally we're okay. But sad thing to say is I have come to a epiphany, like a glimpse into my future, and it hurts to say, but I you can't save everyone, right? And the reason I say that because I have a dysfunctional family. Who doesn't? But it has come to the point where I realized that even the people who I thought were so-called good in the family are also poisoned and stricken with grief or regret of not doing something. And it hurts, low-key. I can't really put it to words. I wouldn't say undescribable, but I just don't have the vocab or the vernaculars to truly express myself in a deepful and thought-provoking way. This is a genre of life. When I said there's different genres of life, this is a genre of life. Poverty-stricken, emotional turmoil throughout family discrepancies and all that, emotional disclosure of some sort. But one good thing is the music. Ooh, oh my God, I've been cooking. I'm not gonna lie, I've been cooking. So that's the only best thing. I won't post this video on TikTok. I ain't gonna lie. No, I'm not gonna do any TikToks with this part. I'm gonna just post it. But yeah, that's the best thing, honestly, is the music. I have made some stuff that's I feel like it's pretty good in my heart. Like it might shift the music in a different precaution. I just gotta give me a mic and stuff. But yeah, what else? Stop stressing over things you cannot change in a physical or emotional manner. If it's something external, do not focus on it. Do not harp on it, mainly due to the fact that it cannot change. Only thing you can control is yourself and what you give out and what you take in. Which is the most cliche shit to ever say, but it's a great thing to focus on. Yeah, my perspective on life has really changed the view of mediocrity, of what is so called normal and what is so called extraordinary, right? And the reason I say that now is I have come to the point where I see that there's so much hate in so many areas of my life is that I cannot let that affect me into a way where it doesn't, into a way where I'm not being the most influential, most charismatic person that I can be, because uh, mainly because mainly because of what others have going on. I'm alive. I'm alive and well. Yeah, but that's the personal stuff. All right, or pass over that personal stuff. All right. Now let's get down to the nitty gritty of what I really gotta say. All right. Oh shit. Bam. There's a couple things. All right. You know, once 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 I am fairly known, right, and not just like, oh, he's just known in the tri-state area. I mean like internationally known, right? I know. I just know my name would try to be ruined by allegations or some sort, and they would try to kill me. And who is they? I don't know. It's not conspiracy. This is real deal shit. I have seen visions, bro. Damn, I don't know. This shit kind of sound kind of theory-ish. I don't like it. People don't really take it serious when you start babbling on. But like real talk though, I have like I just got it. I visualized me becoming the top of the top of artistry and being influential. But it's authentic. It's not trying too hard. You're not, going for just strictly entertainment, the most authentic self. Because once you try too hard, that's when people start to overanalyze the view they have on you, and they start to see that you don't really have this type of power that you try to throw out or be perceived as you have power. But I just know when I get up there and I'm gonna be doing something positive, I'm gonna be trying to affect the whole world in a positive manner, right? I feel like there would be some discrepancies. Either I'm gonna get killed. I don't want to wish it on myself, but I'm probably either I'm gonna get killed or I'm gonna get like some allegation of some sort to to negate the most positive actions. But in some ways of speaking, I feel like you can do positive things. You can impact the world in a positive way, even if it comes to an invention. But you can still be a shitty person. So with that, you just gotta come to the fact is, are you a good person with good deeds, or are you a bad person with good deeds? You know, like what are you? You know, what's the perspective on what you hold, right? Because in this life or in this world, how it is right now in the 21st century, 21st or 20th century, right? we we live in a world where the most influential thing you can do is have power, right? Is to have money. And I feel like the reason why the people who have created me and my family members, my blood relatives, are so dysfunctional is because we're poverty stricken. We're just dirt poor and we're black. But you just can't. You can't just be like, "Whoa, it's me. I'm the victim." You gotta pick yourself up by the bootstraps if you have them, and keep it pushing. And I have seen that. But how far can you go when the bootstraps are on a thin line of material? You know, they're about to pop. How far can you go, right? I've seen my mother cry so many times. I've seen my biological father collapse so many times because they're both hurt. They both hurt each other, and it's like I don't want that for myself. But now I kind of got it. I'm stuck in an endless cycle where I gotta so-called take on a responsibility I did not ask for. But rather than harping on the situation of at hand of a bird brain person keeping something that should not be here, I must take responsibility. But I feel like this will try to hamper me in a way where I can't get further in life, right? Because everything is just, it's like a game. You get one life. You get one life, and you just gotta keep on climbing and climbing and climbing, right? Right. Most of the things we do is because of social constructs, right? Is because of what have society has created for us. No matter what you do, no matter if you're a professional athlete of some sport, or you're an artist, or you just work a regular 9 to 5. The name of the game is not to get fame. The name of the game is not to be lame. It's not to be lame and get the most money you can and live comfortably, right? But I still have this childish mindset of, oh, I can impact the world on the biggest level. I still have that in my head, like, oh, I can still do it. I can still do it, you know? I still think like that. And is that a good thing? Yeah, for these 2 weeks where I haven't been doing anything, just self-reflection and trying to figure out what's the best thing for me, I've come to see that there's no such thing as the best thing for you. It's what is at hand and what is you can. It's what you have at hand and what you can make further on. Because we all make these empty statements like, I gotta get rich, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, but we don't take the preliminaries or the precautions of anything to do it. I'm gonna flat out and say it. I'm an adult now. You know, I'm a brother. I'm a son. I'm a cousin. I'm a father. I'm all of that. And if you take that away from me, what am I? Just a being that's trying to change something about itself. But best believe it will be way more than what I tell you. I'm cutting this at 15 minutes because I see one of my relatives coming on, and I think we're about to leave the trail. So I'm back. Don't know how for long, but I will be showing you some music later on. My name's Solitude. Just love to talk to you. Bye.